Welcome to Cover Book Beat. I'm your host, Roger Nichols, and this is author interview number 868. Our guest today knows brains inside and out, as it were, and has the degrees to show for it. That includes a doctorate in psychology and neuropsychology, a master's of science in clinical psychology, and a bachelor's in education. Dr. Barbara Koltuska-Haskin was born in Warsaw, Poland, and in 1989 she was awarded the American Association of University Women's International Fellowship, spent a year at UCLA's postdoctoral training program, and later received her U.S. citizenship as an alien of exceptional abilities. It's a very unusual classification, and it was given to her because of her education, her research in neuropsychology, and for her clinical achievements. Well, for the last 30 years, she's been a practicing clinical neuropsychologist, a medical specialty that, as Wikipedia puts it, is a branch of psychology concerned with how a person's cognition and behavior are related to the brain and the rest of the nervous system. Now she's put all that experience of 30 years of practice into good use, into translating her insights from the field into her book, How My Brain Works, a guide to understanding it better and keeping it healthy. The book has won numerous awards, and we are very pleased to welcome Dr. Barbara Koltuska-Haskin. Welcome.
Thanks, Roger, for having me.
Yeah. Growing up in Poland, were you always going to be in the medical field?
Yeah, I was always fascinated with brain. So my two passions were music, because I also have a musical education. I play piano. I'm a classically trained mezzo-soprano. So my passion was music and learning about brain and helping people with brain problems, because actually art goes very good with kind of brain issue, because this area is kind of on a edge of science and art. When you have a patient, yes, because every brain is different and every brain is brain problems are complex and every brain is different. So you have to do a lot of intuitive thinking and just to be able to figure out what actually with this particular patient is going on. So this is every patient is like a research project. You have to think about it, read articles, and so it's a fascinating field. I love it.
It sounds like it. Your enthusiasm comes through in the book, which, by the way, is very easy for those of us who are lay people. And when it talks about how the brain works, it doesn't get into the neurotransmitters and all of the stuff that's beyond most of us. It gets into how the pieces form together, how the brain and the body interact. Why this particular aspect? You could have been a neurologist, you could have been a psychiatrist, a psychologist. Why this particular field?
Well, I actually started medical school, but at that time I was having problems with dealing with patients' death. I felt like, now if you are young, this is different. Once you get through all these life stories and have people that leave that earth, you have different approach to that. But as a young person, it was traumatic for me to see people who you care for, they depart, and there is nothing you can do about it, So I felt the neuropsychology is kind of a easier, safer field, because patients actually don't die when they are in my care.
Yeah.
But so I felt like, I can still help them, but I don't really need to deal with the having to care for a dying patient.
And rather, one of the other aspects of neuropsychology is research, but you would rather work with people. That's why you chose this aspect of it.
Yes, I started as a research neuropsychologist because I wanted to know more about brain. I just wanted to make sure that when I go to clinical practice, I can understand it better, and it helped me a lot. My research approach helped me a lot, and I still do it because I am a blogger for Psychology Today magazine. I have a blog that has over 300,000 views. So I guess I must be doing something right. So I'm still going through a lot of research papers every month to write a blog for my patients because I want to give them some, not really for my patients. Right now I write it for general population, for everybody what is interested in brain health. But I want to give people a tangible help. So explaining some stuff and then figure out what they can do about it. So, and my research approach really helps because when I go through studies, I'm like, that's not what they are saying, or when I go to the research. So, but most they are very good. So I can, I can do the selection which I am going to cover for my next blog post, because I want, I don't want to be just, because I said that. I just want this, okay, that's what the research says, okay? So if research says that, it's probably a good idea to do that.
And you actually put all of the suggestions. I mean, the book is like in two parts. And the first part is mostly how the brain works. The second part is how you and I can benefit from that knowledge and make it better. What was the impetus for putting the book? Did somebody say, we want you to make a book out of all this great blog that you're writing? Or did you just say, it's time?
What I'm thinking is that basically I wrote this book for my patients because they always ask me, first of all, they were always very nice. They said, you know so much, you can write a book. So here it is. But also, all of them, most of the people that I see worry about dementia.
Yes. Everybody's afraid of that.
Yes. And all of whether they have a family history of dementia or they don't. Because if they don't have a family history, they see friends going into that, darkness. It's a grim disease. So they see a friend, they remember the friend that was driving around the city in a, cabriolet, and now they can't even recognize them. So, that is scary.
It is. And the very first time they can't remember somebody's name, they start to worry that that's the start of it.
Well, if you occasionally, so I teach patients, if you occasionally have a problem with recalling something, then it's not a sign of dementia. If you have more and more problems in the cell, actually, the good differentiation is between the patients to come to me and say, I may have a dementia, they usually don't. But if they are brought by family members, spouses, or children, and they say, I don't have any problems, I don't know why I'm here.
Then they have the problem.
That's a red flag for me. But going back to my book, so all of my patients worry about it. They said whether they do have family history, which is scary. To see your father or mother going into the darkness of dementia, it's traumatic experience. So I tell family members, get help for that, because it's gonna be tough. So they always ask me, so what can I do to not to get this disease? So I was writing this book for 3 years, and I went through a lot of research because, as I said, I want to make sure that I am giving people not just what somebody said or some celebrity said, but what the research says, what it's proven that it's going to help keep your brain healthy. Of course, there is no certainty in life. You can do everything and still get that. But at least if you are doing something, it empowers you. Okay? I am trying to do something, and we know that the people who want to get better do get better. So, because they kind of put their brain on a healing mode. That is more important for people with traumatic brain injury. But with the fear of dementia is try to do something that will help you keep your cognitive abilities intact, or if you have that problem, to have them going slower, okay? Mm-hmm. Because some people go to this darkness very fast, and some are able to function for a very long time. So this is another thing. The families are asking me, so what's the rate? Nobody knows about the rate. Only God knows about it. Everybody is different. And every rate is different. For a very long time, they can be like, okay, like this, and then go down. So I wrote this book. I went through a lot of research to give people just tangible help. So, okay, so that's what research says. If you do this, and this, there is a possibility that you may never get it. And if you get it, it may still be able to function. Mm-hmm. As we get into that age when most people have some kind of cognitive problems, the most important for you is to have still a quality of life. Whatever the quality of life is, it's for you. You will be different than mine, okay? So whatever the quality of life is for you, we want for you to have a quality of life. So that's why the second part of the book is about brain health and what we can do, what the research says we can do to help ourselves to have a quality of life to the last day of our life. Because what I think the most scary part of getting you to the darkness of dementia is that you do not have a control over your life anymore.
Yeah, that's
and you have to and you have to rely on other people, you know. Mm-hmm. And if you have other people around you, that you are blessed. But a lot of people live alone, and you know, or all their family members have passed, mm-hmm. moved to the eternity already. So that's difficult. So for all of us, we want to be able to function to the last day of our life.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing about this is you cover so much information in the last half of the book. You even throw in recipes, which I love. I think that's great.
I mean, maybe this is a lot of information, but I think I try to put them in a way that they are easily digestible for people.
Yes, very easy.
And I got a lot of compliments about writing this book in a very simple way, because I wrote this for general population. Mm-hmm. This is not a book for scientists, but it's I can learn something too. But general population. Actually, I knew that my book was good when I sent it to because that was my first book. So I didn't know if that has any sense, you know. Mm-hmm. This is not my first language, as you can notice.
Yes.
So once I wrote this book, first I gave it to my friends and I told them, just tell me what's wrong with this book so I can, correct it. And everybody was like, oh, it's great. So you learn so much. And I'm like, oh, they just like me.
Well, I can I will
that's why. What?
I will testify that this is a book that anybody can enjoy, that anybody can access. And if you want more, you have some links to some additional information if you want to go deeper into it, which I think is a step that you can take as well. So that's very thoughtful that you've done that.
Yes.
I'm really intrigued by the fact that you say food is our medicine.
Yes, that is very true. And most of medical professionals actually are able to say that, like a lot of physicians right now are getting into thinking that may be true after the research. And I am a believer in that, and that's what I practice. Because you are what you eat. If you eat healthy, your body is able to function. If you not, that's a problem. But what I teach my patients, it's do 80-20. Try to eat healthy 80% of time, and 20% you can still have what you like. If you love a cheesecake, have it once in a while. You have a pizza, have it once in a while, because we only have one life.
Exactly. And fast food.
Yes, so so we have to do stuff that brings our joy. So once in a while, have something that you really like, even if it's if it's not, give you a little bit of you have to have a little bit of pleasures in life.
Yes.
Just don't indulge in them. So I teach my patients, try to, first of all, cook for yourself. And also once in a while you can go to, obviously go and eat out, because you have to have life and some, pleasures in life. But if you want to be healthy, most of the time, try to cook for yourself. And it's, people say, I don't have time for it. No, you do have time, because you buy yourself a crock pot and buy frozen vegetables, organic frozen vegetables. They are already cut and cleaned, and you just put them there and get some organic chicken or whatever, or fish, and put the crock pot on, and then you will have a dinner. You can put some spices that you like. It's not as, you don't have to be a gourmet cook to eat healthy. But that's very important, because we have more and more research that our intestines are actually our second brain. Because they produce more serotonin than our brain. They produce 90% of serotonin. Now, serotonin is a neurotransmitter in the brain that helps with depressed mood and is all this, one of the moody. Dopamine and serotonin is one that help with mood and having some good experiences in life, processing them. So feeling good neurotransmitter, I would say. But it's also dopamine that is helping with that too. Anyway, so it's very important to eat the food that will help feed that good microbiomes in the good microbes in our brain, our intestines, and not allow them to be killed. Yes. So diet is very important. It's because, as I said, you are what you eat. But as I said, and I always emphasize that, just try 80-20, and you don't have to. And people said, okay, I'm going to be a vegetarian. Okay, try slowly.
Figure out if you'll try it and you'll give it up because you don't like it.
Yes, try slowly. Just replace one meal with vegetarian meal and figure out if you like it. Because it's it may be good for some people and you may not good. So it's not like you have to make a decision and start tomorrow and struggle. Yeah. Whatever you have to struggle with, you are not going to do this.
Right, exactly.
That's just like with exercises. I tell them you have to exercise and walk at least 30 minutes, 30 minutes 5 times a week, or 40 minutes 3 times a week. But if you prefer to be on a treadmill and watch your show, is okay. If you like me, I need to be in nature because I have to see and smell and have this wind. So treadmill is not my thing. And I don't really watch much TV because I don't have time for that. But whatever, do it the way you can enjoy it. Because if I tell you go for a walk and you hate them, you are not going to be doing that. So, yeah, people ask me frequently, so what is the best exercises from me? I said, that one that you are doing.
That's exactly right. I love that about that, because otherwise you'll
Yes.
keep doing that. Yes. One of the things I really appreciate about this is you also talk about meditation and a number of other, you talk about sleep, about exercise, and if you cooking homegrown things that you know what's in what you're eating as opposed to something you get
Yes.
off the shelf. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I started my garden when I started and I moved to this area. Nobody had a garden, and only I had a garden, and I had all the squirrels and all the wildlife coming and eating my garden, and and I got a specialist, and he said, "Well, you are the only one that has good things for them, so that's what they eat." But then I learned how to deal with that, and so they can have some, and I can have some. But garden is very simple to grow. Um, you just need sun and water, not much water, and I
Yeah.
think that's why, because you know uh, homegrown gardeners use much less water than commercials. Yes,
Mhm.
because we water with the think in the mind that we have to water this so we don't use too much of that. Okay.
Mhm.
So all of them. So now all of my friends have garden, because I always, when I started it, I shared my produce with them.
Ah, this is temptation. Come to our
Yes,
place.
yeah,
If you
yes.
could have this yourself if you grew them. Yes.
So they would come to my garden and say, "Oh, how did you start it then?"
Yeah.
I felt that, I always make time for people that want to do that, because this is important. I said, if you grow yourself, you know what you put that, and you always take only as much as you need. You don't waste any produce.
Yeah.
Okay, because most of them, if you buy stuff, like that soft stuff, like for instance, raspberries or blueberries
Yeah.
stay
Yeah.
for some time in it, but raspberries or
They go.
fresh, yeah, they go. Yeah, if you don't eat them in 2 days, you have to throw the rest of it. But
Yeah.
then you go to the garden in the middle of winter. We have a good weather here. So in the middle of winter, I still have broccoli, I still have arugula, I still have parsley, and you can have a salad.
Yes. And kale. Kale grows well in the wintertime
Yeah,
too. Yes.
you can have a salad. So uh, you know uh, right now we exchange seeds and produce and with community. So we are, so kind of we build community here, about, with our neighbors. So as I said, grow them, and then I teach my patients, you need to cook for yourself,
Mhm.
because you know what you put there.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing that I always teach my patients is meditation,
Yes. And
because
for some people, working in the garden is an act of meditation.
yes, it is for me too.
Yeah.
Actually, I sit and I go there, and in a summer, or not even right now, I sit there and I watch all my birds. And because when you sit still for a few moments, then the wildlife around feels you are part of the wildlife. I think I just go all around you.
Hmm.
So I love to observe them. So yes, this is a way of meditating, But uh, a lot of my people said, I cannot sit still and
Yeah.
meditate, or I cannot clear my mind. I said, meditation is not about clearing your mind, because when you can only clear your mind if you are dead or enlightened. We, just regular humans, when you sit down and you don't have to close your eyes to meditate. I meditate with my eyes open most of the time, but if you sit down and close your eyes, the thoughts will be coming.
Hmm.
They will be coming. You will be thinking about what you are need to do, what is going to happen tomorrow, so on. So I told them, it's not about clearing your mind. It's about breathing and uh, just putting your thoughts back to breathing and just have a peaceful moment with yourself. Just keep breathing. And I teach them how to breathe with the abdomen. So not this way, but this way. And just put your hand on your abdomen and follow it once you breathe and concentrate. And when you find that your brain is thinking about your meetings or about what you have to do today, bring your thoughts back to breathing and breathe and have a peaceful moment with yourself. And start with 3 minutes. I teach my patients, put the timer on 3 minutes and sit there for 3 minutes and then go 5, 10, go to 20. If you can do 20 minutes twice a day, it's okay. But every day, just do as much as you can.
I think that's one of the big attractions of you're putting people things they can actually achieve in a short amount of time, feel the progress and be able to move on, rather than throwing a great big something at them and saying, oh my gosh, I can't handle that.
Well, I want, as I said, I wanted to give people some tangible things that they can do to help themselves, you know. And it's really easy to achieve. And as I put in this at the end of the book, strive for progress, not perfection. Exactly. So it's very important. So, you know, because nobody is perfect and it's not a goal. The goal is progress. But if you have a bad day, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up, because that is really bad. Don't beat yourself up. Just say, okay, tomorrow is another day, Scarlett. You remember? Exactly. Scarlett O'Hara?
Right. Yes.
Tomorrow is another day, Scarlett. Tomorrow is another day. You can start all over. And if you indulge in your cake today, well, try not to. If you have problems with that, there is a lot of help available right now. And you don't even have to go to the therapist office. A lot of therapists do telemedicine right now. So you can just sit quietly in your home and get help. So if you have more problems with that. But the most important is not to make yourself feel bad if you didn't achieve your goals, because more and more research is coming right now, and I want to emphasize that your state of mind is very important in your progress. So the research says right now, and this is a new thing. This is a new thing coming probably like for the last few months, that if you do everything you're supposed to do, like eat health, exercise, do this and that, but you struggle with depression, anxiety, or mood problems, your brain is not getting the most benefit. So you have to very consciously try to put yourself on the sunny side of the street. That's very important for your brain. Try to be at peace with yourself and where you are, because that will help you at most with dealing, because life is difficult, time is difficult, but there is nothing you can do about life and about the world, okay? What is going in the world, nothing we can do. But we can do something about how we react to that, okay? And if we are able to keep this internal peace, that's very important. If you cannot do that there, get some help. If you cannot deal with your anxiety, insomnia, get help. Help is available. After pandemic, all insurances pay for therapy.
Yes.
And if you don't have insurances, they are outfits that have a sliding scales, or they are outfits that will do this for free for some time. You know, help is available, not from internet. Internet will help you. Internet will help you find a therapist, okay? You go on and find who is taking new patients in your area. but it doesn't matter. Right now, you can have, on Zoom therapy, it doesn't have to be even in the same town. But if you want to have this in person, some therapists still give the people that opportunity. Now, so on internet, it's good to find things, but it's not that good to take the advice because it may not be the best for you, okay? Yeah. Because every brain is different. What works for other people may not work for you. So that's why you need, if you try some things and like you try meditation and they don't work for you, don't give up on them. Just find some therapist maybe who teaches people how to meditate, or some. I sent all my patients to yoga and Tai Chi classes. Mm-hmm. Try it. You may like it. Yeah. Because that is a kind of a meditation. If you have problems with learning how to meditate, they teach you how to kind of listen to your body, feel your body, and have a peaceful time with your own body, with your own mind. So that's our meditation is about. Just breathe and have a peaceful moment. But do you have to, don't try to do the stuff that is sophisticated, because it's okay, but it may not be the right thing for you.
Small steps. Take small steps. Not try to do everything all at once, because you'll quit in the next week. Take a little piece, get a victory, get a success, build on the success.
Don't beat up yourself. That's so important.
We're running short on time here, but I do want to ask you, what do you hope the most important thing they take away from your book when they close the covers would be?
The most important book is that when you have, from the book, that when you have some problems with cognitive problems, okay, and you feel like you do have something, you are not, have problems with this or that, and you go to your primary care and they do MRI and everything is normal, and you feel that, no, I'm not the same, then there is help available. Just find a neuropsychologist that works in your community, because you have to come for testing. We can't do this over the internet. And all the services are covered for insurance. Get help. Help is available. You don't have to have a sleepless night thinking, oh, I'm going to end up like my Uncle Joe or my friend Tom. That is totally not good for you. Just there is a help available. So we will be able to test you, and we will tell you if you really have a memory problems, or if your memory complaints are true memory problems, or you have memory complaints that are a result of other problems, maybe insomnia. Because what I want people to understand, that memory complaints are not necessarily memory problems. Okay? But we would only be able to do that if I will do testing, because I do testing and I compare the number I got from your testing with your age group. And I will say, okay, you are still average on your group, or above average, or still superior, or below average. But most people who think they have memory problems usually are still very good. They just are a little bit self-conscious, but we won't know that until we sit down and do testing. So help is available. If you think you are having problems with attention, concentration, executive function, memory, you don't need to have a sleepless night. You don't have to have this anxiety that will affect you more and more and more, and then you will be having more problems. Like if your attention concentration, when your anxiety goes up, your attention concentration goes down. So you will be worrying. If you worry, you will have more problems at work, because you will be making some kind of stupid mistakes. So there is no, help is available. We can figure out what is going on with you. But so there is no point to dwell on that and go yourself to this depression, anxiety, or that states that are not good for your brain. We have only one life.
Enjoy it.
And we want to be able to enjoy it. Yes.
Yes. Live it. Carp that diem, as it were. Our guest today has been Dr. Barbara Koltuska-Haskin. The book is How My Brain Works, a guide to understanding it better and keeping it healthy. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Have a wonderful day.
All right.